We carry a global dating pool in our pockets. We have never been more technologically linked to one another, yet millions of people report a level of emotional isolation that feels impossible to bridge. This disconnect marks a sharp turn in the history of human intimacy. We are attempting to build stable, lifelong bonds within a sociological ecosystem that prioritizes speed and constant novelty over depth. For most of human history, we bonded within small, predictable communities where social accountability was the default. Now, we navigate a digital landscape of unlimited choice, forcing our brains to manage a level of complexity they were never required to handle before. Modern relationship failure often appears as a mismatch between our natural needs and our current surroundings. Love is struggling to survive against specific psychological pressures that were simply absent for previous generations. Finding a partner used to be a matter of geography. You met someone in your town, your school, or your neighborhood. Today, dating apps present a digital menu of matches that never ends. This chart illustrates the paradox of choice. In a consumer study, shoppers offered 6 varieties of jam were highly likely to make a purchase. But when selection increased to 24, commitment plummeted. This same mechanism dictates digital dating. Faced with thousands of profiles, the brain enters a maximizing state, an anxious search for the optimal partner, making real people feel like a compromise. Psychologists identify this specific anxiety as phubbing, or the fear of better options. This is an active strategy of refusing to commit to anyone. It is the choice to remain in a state of permanent availability, fueled by the belief that a better match is always just one swipe away. This maximizing mindset creates an impossible environment for intimacy. Deep connection requires a level of vulnerability that cannot exist while you are keeping one foot out the door. Historically, humans distributed their emotional and economic needs across an entire village. Families shared childcare, domestic work, and social support, ensuring no single relationship had to provide everything. Today, we load all of those historical expectations onto a single romantic partner. We demand they be our financial peer, our passionate lover, our best friend, and our spiritual guide simultaneously, a burden that is psychologically unsustainable. Social media distorts these expectations even further. By presenting curated highlights of perfect vacations, it tricks our brains into viewing ordinary domestic stability as a sign of a failing relationship. The glowing screen sitting between 2 people at a dinner table has become a primary source of relationship erosion. Behavioral data from 2025 shows that 51% of adults feel actively ignored because their partner is focused on a phone during important moments. Researchers call this phubbing. Every time a screen wins our attention over the person in front of us, it sends a signal of micro-rejection. Over time, these small moments starve a connection of the attention it needs to stay alive. These daily rejections trigger a primitive biological response. When emotional safety is lost, the brain's amygdala interprets that distance as a literal threat to survival. This often leads to a destructive conflict loop. One partner pursues connection out of a fear of being abandoned, while the other withdraws into silence to protect themselves from feeling inadequate. In this defensive state, many couples shift into an exchange orientation, where the relationship is treated like a strict transaction. They begin keeping score, replacing generosity with a rigid accounting of who did what and who owes whom. This tit-for-tat mindset quickly erodes the trust that healthy partnerships require. This standoff leads to roommate mode. Statistics suggest 55%. The belief that love is a passive feeling, an automatic spark that should sustain itself forever, is a myth that leaves many people feeling defeated when the initial excitement fades. Long-term love is a deliberate psychological skill. It requires emotional regulation, the ability to tolerate distress, and a commitment to making active choices every day. The most resilient couples move past the question of what they are receiving and focus on what they are building, placing the health of the relationship above their individual egos. Lasting connection belongs to those who stop searching for a person without flaws and instead commit to the quiet, daily work of becoming a partner worth staying with.